So we have the opportunity to have Jake and Hacksaw here today. This is your session. We warmed it up a little bit with some WrestleMania memories, but now it's your turn to shine. Who has a question? I'm going to put everyone on the spot. Here we go.
No math question.
What was it like for your first Royal Rumble?
I think they can hear you.
The first Royal Rumble. I don't think anybody expected the Royal Rumble to become as big as it's become. You know, it's probably the second biggest pay-per-view, but nobody thought the WWE would become as large as it is. But of course, back then we were working all the time. It was just another show, you know. We were working the day before, the day after. So we got to, it was in Hamilton, Ontario at the Cops County Coliseum. I'll remember it forever. And we get there and it's the Royal Rumble, the first one ever. And they have the sheet up about, you know, who's going to win, and I'm going down the sheet, going down. I'm like, I'm winning this thing, man. So I called Deborah. I'm like, Deborah, get the, because back then you had to get the box for your cable, you know. I said, go get the box so we can watch the cable deal. And of course, it's obviously the biggest feather I ever got, you know. You know, I was in there with a one-man gang and Dino Bravo. They would beat the devil out of me. We got Dino out of there. A big one-man gang was charging me. I was all beat up. I fell down. I just grabbed the top rope, and big ganger went over the top of the rope. So nobody was more surprised in that building than me winning that thing. People were like, you really look excited, Hacksaw. I'm like, you think, brother? You know, but you know, that was, like I said, the biggest feather in my cap. People said, well, Hacksaw, you know, you were never world champion. You were never tag team champion. You never intercontinental champion. I said, I was lucky to win a match. Are you kidding? But that was my deal. I don't care if I win the match, as long as I win the fight, tough guy. Give me a ho, guys. Ho! That's why I ask Flair all the time when Flair's going, woo, woo. I'm like, Rick, are your trunks too tight or what? Woo!
Jake, is that mic live? You were in that match.
It works. It's working. What's up?
Here, I'm gonna have you guys share a mic, and then I'll
Go from there.
Okay, I was in that match.
You were.
News to me. I don't remember that match. Imagine that.
It makes me feel good, Jake. Thanks.
All right. Does anybody else have a question?
Oh, Jake, where did you get the inspiration from for Damien to bring an actual snake in the ring? And where's Damien today?
I have no idea where he's at. I don't know if he's alive or not. Hopefully. The idea came just, you know, riding down the highway as we did back in those days, drinking a beer and smoking a joint. Yeah, imagine that. Wait a minute, you were there. But it just came to me that, man, if I'm scared of snakes, because I am scared of snakes, terrified of damn things. Yeah. 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 That's why they call it dope. Because I came up with the idea to carry a snake, and here I am terrified of the damn things. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I heard somebody had a question.
I think he was the one that...
My question got asked.
Oh, think of another one. We'll get back. Did you have one?
I think you was ready. Yeah, so, you know, probably everyone here watches a lot of the documentaries on wrestling, and you hear that certain wrestlers were maybe a little more physical than others and maybe a little more aggressive in the ring. In your careers, who was the one wrestler that you did not look forward to getting in the ring with for that?
Vader.
Later.
Yeah, he broke my sternum twice.
That's the first.
Yeah.
Mine was
What
Iron
about
Mike.
you, Jim?
Iron Mike Sharp. Iron Mike was stiff, but
He was stiff.
Vader was on a different level. But you know, when you get to that level, nowadays, kids get on TV and they go, look at this, look how bad. I'm like, hey, it's not MMA, it's professional wrestling. You take a little pride in not hurting your opponent. The guy's not really your opponent, he's your partner. So if Jake and I are working together and we're going around the loop and Jake hurts me, well, we're both out of the show, Right. So it's...
Either one of you are making money.
Yes, it's the guy's not really your opponent. But one of the biggest misconceptions about wrestling, like, well, I want to be a wrestler. But so if you follow it, you want to be a businessman, and so you look at it like a business guy, there's 400 NFL football players. There's probably 200 NBA basketball players. There's 40 WWE wrestlers. Yeah. It's television. It's more competitive than sports, and it's just not kids from America. You got kids from Japan, Australia, and Europe. Everybody wants one of those 50 positions or 40 positions. It's a very competitive business. So kids ask me, they go, Hacksaw, you got any advice for me? Yeah, get golf clubs. That's where the money's at. A lot easier on the body. So
I'm going to ask, can everybody hear okay? Yeah. All right, great.
If I say I'm loud.
Okay, no, we're just want to make sure.
Did you guys ever think from when you started, I know that wrestling was small and it was real local, did you ever think that it would be as big as it is now and that you guys would be here today in 2025 still being idolized and talking about your experiences in wrestling?
I think only Vince McMahon thought that. He had the vision. And he blew it out there.
Made it work. Yeah.
We are lucky to have you guys because we grew up with people like you, and you guys are superstars in our minds. And we looked up to you, we idolized you, and we learned from you. So thank you guys.
Well, the fans made it all possible. Without you guys, but it's amazing the popularity of professional wrestling around the world. We do a lot of charity events with the NFL guys. They're like world champions. Like, well, where in the world have you boys been? Like, well, we went to London. I'm like, that's like going to the West Coast. Go to London. There's nobody knows Tom Brady down in Christchurch, but they'll go, oh. Yeah, I know. Like myself, I wrestled every state in the union, every province in Canada, in 30 different countries. It's crazy. I just came back last month. Jake's going over another month to the UK. We do a stand-up show, and I just came back. I did Glasgow, Manchester, and London doing a stand-up show. Who would have thought we saw the transition from high school gyms and National Guard armies? Jake's the one, he went up to WWF for WrestleMania 2. I was down at Mid-South, and we were buddies. Jake calls me, goes, hey, this is the place to be. And I went up to WWF, and we saw it go from high school gyms, and all of a sudden you're in Wembley Stadium at Royal Albert Hall. It was an unbelievable transition.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one. For both of you, I know there's a popular meme that's going around as far as the Mount Rushmore. Who would be your Mount Rushmore when it comes down to wrestling? It could be today, the Golden Era, anything.
I give it Flair, Hogan, and then the other two guys are interchangeable. Could be Brett, could be Stone Cold. I mean, there's so many guys, but I think Hogan and Flair are on a totally different level. They really are. A lot of other guys, but
Same. Got it.
I joke, I get off the plane, people are like, it's Hacksaw Duggan. Hogan's behind me, like, get out of the way, Hacksaw, it's Hulk Hogan.
There was a question over there earlier.
So Jake, one of the memories him and I both have is when you DDT Steamboat on the concrete.
So
I remember watching your documentary. You said you told him not to do it.
Yeah.
You wanted to do it.
Yeah.
What was the aftermath like?
Well, the aftermath was him with a forehead that was stuck out 4 inches. And it took 2 weeks for his eyes to turn black. And so much swelling was in there. And he definitely concussed. But I warned him, you can't do some things on concrete, you know? One of them's messing with me.
For those of you who have not seen it, it was a Saturday night's main event from 1986. Go out of your way to find it. Any other questions? Yes?
Yeah, I wondered for both of you, what was the favorite storyline in that one?
Favorite
Favorite
storyline that
storyline.
you were part of?
Whether it's like a rivalry or something that
For me, it was the Rick Rude thing. Because it was so simple.
That was, I mean, could somebody get away with that today?
Probably not.
I mean, that was revolutionary, especially the tights.
Yeah. They had to stay on it long.
How about you, Hacksaw? What's your favorite
Well, it's
story?
an easy one for me. You know, if there's a giant in our business, from Big Show to John Studd to Andre, they're like, Duggan, get your 2x4. I have to wrestle every giant there is. So there's a TV show, and Andre the Giant stomps on down to the middle of the ring, and he goes, I challenge anyone. Duggan, get your 2x4. So I run down, I got my 2x4, I run down, I got my chin on Andre's belly, I'm looking up at him, I'm like, I'm not afraid of you. And Andre went to grab me by the throat, and when he did, just his thumb hit my lip, boom, knocks my lip off, falls down, and the blood is just cascading down my chest. It's pouring down my chest. And Andre's got me by the throat. He's choking me down. He's choking me down. He's choking me down. I feel around. I get my 2x4. Wham! I hit the big giant between the eyes. He goes down like a huge redwood tree. I'm standing over the Andre the Giant, covered in blood. Ho! Ho! And that kind of really elevated my standing in the WWF. And Andre, if he didn't want to do that, he wouldn't have done it for me. And I got along good with Andre, thank goodness.
Jake, you work with Andre as well. What are your memories about that?
He used to do this thing to me where he would knock me down. I'd be flat on my back, and then he would put his feet on either side of my head, stand on my hair, and then he would grab my arms and pull. And I could hear the hair breaking off. Ding, 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 you know? But what are you gonna do?
I used to joke, I said, Jake would come back to the dressing room, his hair would be sticking up, he goes, I hate when he does that. I hate when he does that. How about the elevator story in Japan?
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, when you fly all the way to Tokyo, it takes forever, man. We get to the Kyoto Plaza, this big fancy Dan hotel. You gotta take one elevator up to the 50th floor. You can go catch another elevator, go up to whatever floor you're on. So the elevator, everybody's flying, everybody's tired, everybody's beat. The elevator would open up. I get on, Jake gets on, DiBiase gets on, Andre gets on. Now, right before the elevator's door shut, about 20 Japanese guys come charging in, you know, because personal space doesn't exist in Japan. So they're just used to piling in there. So now everybody's stuck in there pretty tight. As soon as the elevator starts going up, Andre goes, looking up at Andre, why are you laughing? Because I'm farting. About then, you can almost see the green gas coming up, you know. Jake, Teddy, and me are up on our toes trying to stay north of it. The poor Japanese guys are down low. They're really suffering. So now we're like floor 47, floor 48. Andre's still laughing as hard as he could. And Jake's like, Andre, why are you still laughing? Because I'm still farting. A lot of Andre stories, oh brother.
Andre could fart for 30 seconds.
Did you?
Yeah. He sat on me one time and farted. My shoulder vibrated for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I was wrestling him one time and he knocked me down and Bobby Heenan was managing him. And Bobby's like, give him a mudslide. Give him a mudslide. And I've been wrestling for quite a while. I'm like, geez, I have never heard of a mudslide. Andre said I was like a human suppository. I went right up between his cheeks. I'm like, mudslide. So from then on, I'd be in the ring, I hear mudslide, I'd roll out of the ring, ho, USA!
Well, I'm not sure how we got on these kind of topics. anything can happen in here with the Charlotte Knight. I think we have a question back there.
If you could take anybody from the current era that's working now, and you can move them to your era, and you wanted to work against, who would you want to work against?
Kenny Omega.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I worked with the Rock's granddad, High Chief Peter Maivia. I worked with the Rock's dad, you know, Rocky Johnson. And I make it to Rock at WrestleMania. Ho! No chance in hell, right?
He shows up.
Yes.
I pull a hamstring if I get off the chair too quick.
Any other questions?
Brother, yell it out, man.
So I watched an interview with you, and you were in Mid-South talking about you were at a bar with Dr. Death and Hercules about the Ice Cube incident, where Dr. Death swears he didn't throw the Ice Cube at you.
I don't know, that's
Might
kind
have
of
been
a
fight.
non-family oriented story.
Yes, what are your thoughts on Dr. Death? Because you both.
Dr. Death, you know, back then it was a whole different business. You know, now it's sports entertainment. Hey, it's sports entertainment. Back there, you think it's fake, sign the waiver, you come up here in the ring, we'll show you if it's fake or not, you know? And that's the old joke. You're always a phony wrestler until you go to court. When you go to court, you become a trained killer. It goes like this, 10, 20, 30,000. Every time you hit him, that lawsuit goes up. They're like, I'm going to sue you. And I'm getting my money's worth, we're not done. But people say, Hacksaw, I saw you throw a punch, you missed a guy by that much. I said, yeah, but you see when I hit him by that much, it goes both ways, you know. But it's a physical business.
Would you go on to the show that Triple H others created to train and mentor future superstars next? Would you
Personally, I don't watch the shows after 40 years in the ring. Last thing I want to watch when I'm home is wrestling. That'd be like a cop watching Cops. Wheel of Fortune.
What about you, Jay?
NCIS.
So that's great. You know, it's funny you say that. You know, the storytelling, the reality, it kind of echoes what you see in professional wrestling. Not Wheel of Fortune so much, smart on the wheel, but I can see where a program like that would be very complimentary. So we're getting.
Last year, Wheel of Fortune.
No, I love Wheel of Fortune. So we're going to be wrapping up in just a few moments, but like. Both have been such an instrumental part of everybody's life here. Like, what is your message to the fans here and in general that you might not have had a chance to say in the past?
It's thank you. It's humbling to have you folks come out here and listen to us. You know, I'm 71, Jake's 82.
You're gonna pay for that.
But I mean, to be remembered that many years later and have you folks come out and listen to our story, I mean, hard to think of a football player or another athlete from back in the 80s, but the glory days of wrestling, Hogan, Macho Warrior, Jake, Junkyard Dog, and thank you, because like I said, at our age, we travel the world signing autographs. I'm like, how bad of a business can it be?
How about you, Jake?
You know.
All right, are there any last questions? Well, we thank you all for coming. We hope you've enjoyed this experience.